Hey guys, for today's video, I am going to review and do a first impressions of the Melt Cosmetics Gemini Palette. I want to just keep it real with you guys. This is the first time I have ever tried Melt Cosmetics products, and I am honestly really excited about this palette just because it is such a unique and beautiful, well-rounded palette. I absolutely love it, and I'm super excited that they actually did a second release of it, and that is when I picked mine up. So to get things started, this palette retails for $58 on Melt Cosmetics website, and I'm not too sure if you can purchase it through other retailers as well. I just bought mine through Melt themselves, but I'm not too sure if like other stores have it or other online retailers, so I just want to keep it real with you guys where I purchased it from. And with this palette, there is 10 eyeshadows and 2 of them are shimmer. So this one right here called Gemini and the one up here called Goals are the only shimmers in this palette. The mattes in this palette do not have any shimmer to them. They are not a satin. They are a definite matte eyeshadow. So from a packaging standpoint, this palette, is pretty honestly very long. It's very skinny, and it also has this really nice mirror to it. This mirror is not a funhouse mirror. It is extremely clear, if not one of the nicest mirrors that I have ever seen in a palette itself. And for those that like to travel with their makeup, this is how thin the palette is. So it'll be easy to throw in a bag and just kind of keep it on the go. The only bad thing about this palette for travel is that it is really a long palette, so you just have to watch out what kind of luggage you put it in or what kind of bag that you stick it in, just because it's so long, and so you don't like ding up the corners or accidentally open it or stuff like that. And then as for the outside packaging of the palette, this palette is a cardboard packaged palette. That's not a bad thing by no means. I just want to tell you guys that. And then on the outside, there's some really pretty kind of orangey, burnt orange, kind of yellow roses on here. And then Gemini is spelled in the middle with Melt Cosmetics in like this really cool green foil finish. And then for those curious, here's the back of the palette as well. So as somebody that has a lot of makeup, the reason that I really wanted this palette is that it is such a unique color scheme. Honestly, I have never seen an eyeshadow palette with these kind of colors to them, especially with these like really mustard yellows and these really cool kind of moss and hunter greens up in here. I really just think this palette is like a unique concept. I honestly don't have anything similar in my collection. I was actually looking for dupes of this palette, and I cannot find barely any, especially with these greens up in here. I have some close, but I have nothing similar to it at all, like I could apply and that they would look similar. I don't even have colors that close. But this palette just, to me, just really speaks a really beautiful fall palette. Another thing I really like about this palette and that I want to point out is that all the colors go really well together. As you can see even on my eyes, I'll get into the tutorial later, but all the colors in here go very well together. You don't need like a secondary palette to be able to use this palette. You have your transitional shades down here, these ones right here, and this one as well. You have your like a liner shade, the black eyeshadow. You have, your crease colors, you have a few shimmers in here. It's just overall really nice that the colors go well together, because you can use like these orangey shades really well with the greens. You can use all the greens alone, you can use all the oranges alone. You can do a really dramatic look, and you can also do a really nice neutral look as well with it. From my understandings, what happened with this palette is that it originally launched a couple months ago, or maybe it was in the beginning of the year, and a lot of people like myself were not able to purchase it because it was supposed to be a very small stock of limited edition palettes, and that it was not going to be re-released ever again. But I think a lot of people got really upset at Melt Cosmetics for that, and that is the reason why they did the second run of it, which is when I purchased mine. I just want to point out, as a consumer, I really honestly hate when brands do that, when they're like, hey, this is going to be limited edition, we're never bringing it back, this is just going to be, it is what it is. If you pick it up, you pick it up. If you can't get it, that's how it is going to be. And you know what, as a consumer, that just irritates me, because you should have enough stock for your consumers, knowing how hyped the palette is going to be or how many people normally purchase your products. You should have a general idea from like statistics and sales to be able to tell how many people are going to buy this palette. So if you would like to see how I did this look using the Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette, just stay tuned on watching. First, I'm going to go in with my shadow entrance from Too Faced. I'm just going to apply this all over the lid up to the brow bone and around the eye. Since the Melt Gemini palette does not have like a matte white shade or like a bone shade, I'm going to go in with my Carity Smoky palette, and I'm going to go into the shade called Natural on a Carity E31 blending brush just to set my primer. I'm just going to lightly dust this over the primer. I'm not adding any color, I just kind of want it just to get rid of some of the tackiness. Now to go into the star of the show, the Melt Gemini palette, I'm going to go into the shade called Luna right here, which is kind of a natural kind of, I would say it's kind of like an orange undertoned, kind of like a transitional shade, and I'm going to go in with my Sigma E35 tapered blending brush. And I'm just going to apply this like a transitional shade, so I'm just going to apply this into the crease and kind of buff it up to the brow bone. And oh my gosh, that is a lot of pigment for barely having any eye brush. So the next shade I'm going to go into is called Lorelli. I believe that's how you would pronounce it, but it's kind of a deeper kind of mustard yellow shade. And I'm just going to go in again with the same blending brush from Sigma. And with this shade, again, I'm just going to apply this into the crease. So the next shade I'm going to go into in this palette is called Mochi, which is kind of a literal puke green color that's on the matte side. And I'm just going to go again with that Sigma E35 tapered blending brush. And again, I'm just going to apply this into the crease, just to bring in a little bit more of it, like a green kind of undertone to the look, since it was getting just a tad too warm. I'm also kind of like rounding out the outer V as well. I'm really honestly really excited that they brought this palette back, but again, I'm kind of upset that I wasn't able to buy it in the first kind of run of it because I was in a work meeting, and by the time I was out of my meeting, the palette already sold out. I was really upset because I've wanted this one since I saw the kind of teaser images on Instagram. But so it's nice that they brought it back just because everybody wanted it so bad, but I don't agree with companies that, you know, if they know their palette's going to sell out or know that there's going to be a lot of hype, that they don't make enough for everybody to be able to purchase it the first round. And then you get like these crazy like people going on eBay and reselling them for like triple to quadruple the price of retail. But that's just kind of a pet peeve of mine. I don't know, I just like it when companies know that they're gonna sell a ton of product, so they make enough for everybody to be able to buy it the first round. It's kind of like Kylie Cosmetics when she first came out, like her whole brand, that they would just, all the lip kits would sell out, you know, in minutes. And then she would say, yeah, this is all limited edition, this is limited edition, and then all of a sudden it would just come back a second time or a third time. And I think that Morphe does it as well with the Jaclyn Hill palette that they did, the first, the most recent one, not the Vault, but the other one. And that one kind of made me upset too. I didn't ever buy that palette just for that reason personally, because I was like, you know, I don't want to buy something and know that it's not going to come back. Because if I'm buying it just to use it for like Instagram or just kind of a overall palette, you know, if you guys can't get it, I don't want to use it, because that's not right for me to, you know, use a palette and most of my viewers aren't able to purchase it because it was too limited edition. But again, that's just me. What I'm noticing with these eyeshadows is that there is literally no fallout whatsoever. Like, my face is literally clean, and these are blending out like butter. I don't know how to explain it, but they literally are blending out perfectly. Like, you barely need any product on your brush, and they are, you know, blending out just in seconds instead of, you know, having to keep on going back and forth between different shades and like a, you know, skin tone shade. These ones are actually not needing that. They're seriously blending out, you know, way over my and beyond my expectations. And I'm actually really loving the formula. So next I'm going to go into the shade called Fire OG on a Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush. This is honestly one of the shades that I was super excited to use because it is super hard to find a nice moss green eyeshadow that isn't patchy and blends well. So let's see what this one does. And again with this, I'm going to apply it into the crease. Oh yeah, this one is not patchy at all. This is like the most perfect moss green. Like, you see what I mean? Like, there's no like patchiness and it's like fluid. A lot of moss greens that I've used, they are either really patchy or they don't blend at all. Like, you apply the color down and that's where it's gonna sit. This one is literally perfect. Also, if you guys have a problem getting like eyeshadow to look really nice in the inner corner, what I do is I kind of like raise my eyebrow just a little bit and then I can get in here just a little bit better. So the next shade I'm going to go into is called Leo right here, which is kind of a deeper moss green, almost kind of like a hunter green kind of shade. And again, I'm just going to go in with that Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush. And again, I'm just going to put this into the crease to deepen it up. Next, I'm going to go into the matte black in the palette, which is Bonnie. And I'm just going to touch my brush barely in the pan and then go in with Leo and then back with Bonnie and kind of mix the two, just to kind of make it so Bonnie isn't as jet black. And I'm just going to lightly apply this in my outer V. And I'll bring it into the inner portion as well. So I'm going to be placing the color in this outer V because this is where I want the deepness. And then I'm going to be blending it inwards. Off camera, I'm going to cut my crease using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Fair, using a kind of a flat shader brush from BH Cosmetics out of the Rose Gold set. So once you get your cut crease on, I'm going to go in with what is ever left on my Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush. Make sure your concealer is completely kind of dry and not tacky anymore, because otherwise you'll get a lot of skipping when you do this. But I'm just going to lightly take whatever's left and kind of just rub it on this line, just to kind of soften our cut crease edge. And if it gets kind of chunky, don't worry about it because we will fix it. But it's just a lot easier if you wait till it's completely dry. And I'm just going over this edge too. I'm not like bringing the color in completely either. I just want this edge not so harsh. Because when you apply the concealer, it's really hard to blend it out. So it's just easier if you kind of wait till it dries and then you just apply eyeshadow over it. Or you can also tap it out with your finger. So the next shade I'm going to go into with a flat shader brush from BH Cosmetics is called Gulls right here, which is the shimmery green shade in the palette. Normally I would wet my brush before going into a shimmer shade just to really amp it up, but since we are trying the palette out, you know, as a first impressions, I thought we would just kind of apply it, you know, dry and see where it gives us, and we can always just wet our brush if we need to. And with this shade I'm going to apply it all over my lid, up to this cut crease mark. You know, honestly, without applying it wet, it honestly is really pretty, but I am going to wet my brush as well, because I do want to see what it looks like. And then on this side, I'm going to apply it wet, just to see. It is definitely a little bit more metallic on this side, but it's not like a completely, you know, huge difference, which is really nice. I do like when eyeshadows don't have like a difference between being wet and being dry, because honestly not all the time do I want to wet my brush. I just kind of want to throw on a color and call it good. So it's really nice that these formulas are very similar, dry and wet, which I really like. Next, using that Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush, I'm going to go back in with Leo and Fire OG and kind of buff this gold shade and kind of get everything really nice and blended. Just kind of marrying everything together. So here's where I'm at right now with the eyes, and then off camera I'm just going to apply the rest of my face. So here's where I'm at right now with the look. Honestly, I love how it's turning out. And then for lips today, I used the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Velour Liquid Lipstick in the shade Human Nature, which honestly I think pairs so well with these eyeshadow colors, because it kind of gives like that fall kind of look, you know, like the dark vampy eyes with the dark vampy lips. Honestly, that's like one of my favorite kind of combinations to do. And this is actually one of my favorite lipsticks from him too. I really like how it's kind of purpley brown. It's not like, you know, chocolate brown, but it still has like that cool toned undertone to it as well, with just a slight tad of purple to it. And then off camera, I did not apply the lower lash line, so we're just gonna go in with that right now. So first things first is I'm gonna go in with my Tarte Maneater kind of, this is a pencil eyeliner that kind of self-sharpens itself. I'm not too sure on the full name of it, but I really like this pencil. And with this, I'm just going to apply it into my waterline and kind of bring it down just a little bit. And to smoke this out, I'm going to go into Leo right here. I'm going to go into Fire OG and then Mochi. I'm just going to kind of mix the three. And then for the brush today, I'm going to go in with a Carity E25. This is a super kind of short smudger brush. And then I'm just going to run this underneath and make sure I go right over that black as well. And then with Mochi by itself, I'm going to go in with this Carity E25 tapered blending brush, and I'm just going to smoke right underneath everything. And then last but not least, for the inner corner highlight today, I'm going to go into Gemini on the Beauty Crop pencil brush. And I'm just going to make sure that my brush is damp before I do this, and then I'm just going to apply this right into the inner corner. So since this shade isn't really honestly doing it for me for an inner corner highlight, since I'm so fair, it just really isn't as sparkly as I'd want it, and it's a little bit more darker than I would like as well for an inner corner highlight. I'm just going to go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild Glow Kit, and I'm going to go into Lucky Clover right here, which is this kind of green duochrome highlight shade right here. Yeah, this is definitely where I'd want it. I like the green with this because it really kind of makes the other shades on the eyelid and underneath the eye really pop. And then I'm also going to bring the shade right underneath as well, just to open up the eye just a little bit more, since we are doing a super smoky look. So here's the complete and finished look using the Melt Cosmetics Gemini Palette. And with the skin today and the overall kind of look, I really wanted to keep my face really matte and really focused on the eyes and the lip color. So therefore, I don't have any highlighter on or blush or anything like that. I just have a little bit of bronzer. And honestly, I really like how it looks, and I think it's a really nice look for fall. I must say that after using 7 out of 10 of the eyeshadows in this palette, I am honestly really impressed with the formula. And honestly, this palette has one of the best formulas that I have ever tried for eyeshadows, especially the matte eyeshadows. They literally are beautiful, and you know, you barely need any product either, and they just blend out like literal butter. I don't know about you guys, but I hate palettes that are mishmashed with colors, and it's really hard to figure out like what kind of looks you want to do with them. It's kind of like the Kat Von D Fetish palette. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like the colors just don't go well in my head because they're just so like sporadic. I can't figure out like what kind of looks I want to do with it. But this palette, I just must say that, you know, the colors are really well thought out, and the colors all go well together in this palette too, because you can use all these oranges with the greens, you can use the greens alone, you can use all the oranges alone. You have a beautiful matte black, and you know, you have these gorgeous shimmer shades as well that are very unique to the palette. Another thing I want to point out, that when I was dipping my brush into the shadows, they did not make a huge mess other than this shade right here called Goals. That was the only one I had an issue with, it kind of like crumbling just a little bit. And I don't know why it was doing that. It was kind of like that before I even touched it. It had like a little bit of a crumbling issue on the side, but I just thought, you know, when I started using it that it would press it back into the pan. So if you guys are like, Breyonna, would you recommend this palette to us? And honestly, I would. I really love this palette. I love the formula of the eyeshadows. I think they blend like butter. For what I can see, there is zero duds in this palette. All the eyeshadows work beautifully, and they all go really well together. And honestly, this palette is very unique as well, so it'll definitely be a unique kind of palette in your collection. You won't have any duplicates, or very few at that. However, if you are somebody that's like $58 is a lot of money, and I don't know if I'm going to use every shade in this palette, then I would kind of make sure that, you know, you kind of sit on it for a little bit, because $58 is honestly a lot of money for an eyeshadow palette, especially for 10 eyeshadows. To me, that is just insanely expensive for an eyeshadow palette. You know, you are getting a very nice quality eyeshadow palette here, but for $58, you know, you really should just make sure that you're going to be using it. So I just want to keep it real with you guys. The reason why I find this palette really expensive is that for $52, I can get the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Blood Sugar palette. I know that the colors are definitely not similar in this palette to the Gemini palette, of course, since this one is a red kind of based palette. But honestly, for $52, you get 18 eyeshadows, and you know, you get a mixture of reds and stuff like that. And this one, you only get 10 eyeshadows, and you are paying $6 more. And also, the shipping of Gemini, it did cost me $7. Whereas with the Blood Sugar palette, I do think you can get it on Beautylish. And I know with Beautylish, if you spend over $35, you do get free shipping. I just want to point out, even though I do find the palette expensive, that does not mean that it's a bad palette. I just know a lot of people are strapped for cash, or, you know, they're very picky as to what they purchase, and you know that they don't want a huge collection or see the need to have a larger collection and to spend all that money on makeup. So I just want to make sure that I'm telling you guys, you know, my complete thoughts on it. But honestly, even though it is expensive, it is a great quality palette. I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button down below, and if you would like to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram account is @lethal_kitten. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and until next time, bye!